This is a basic overview of ServiceNow, the tool used in order to track and manage customers' incidents and requests. This is from a service desk perspective and managing your incidents and recording incidents in ServiceNow. You log in first to ServiceNow using your link blue login ID and password. When you log in, it's going to open up your screen as you are identified and your role is identified within the ServiceNow system. This role, my role, is an ITIL user. All of UK IT is ITIL users, so your screen should look very similar to that. You can customize your home page. Your home page is what comes up first. This is the standard home page that will come up, and your screen should look very much like this. I'm a Service Desk agent, so the Service Desk agent home page. And that's what currently comes up. You've got my group's work as a snapshot. You've got any priority 1 incidents that are out there that aren't closed. They can be resolved, but just not in closed status, so we do see one rolling right now with that status. We have activity or incident management, which ones are open, closed, and updated. And as you scroll down, you can see additional gadgets that are available. Again, age tickets, information here, or any news that's happening within the system. Okay. At the very bottom, you could see I have my incident work, so I have one request that I'm working that is listed there in my work. Okay. Over on the left-hand side, you basically just have options of what is accessible from you. Simply to use these, you can, if you want to go quickly to a section without scrolling through the information, I could just click here and type in incidents. As I type, you'll see that it populates anything related to what I'm typing, so it automatically will pull that up, and I could create a new incident or view all incidents. I'm going to click X to clear that, and it brings up my entire list. Beside that, if you want to increase or decrease fonts, if you need to see it a little bit broader or want more space to be available, you can use those functions. You can click the refresh button, and it'll refresh this screen and bring up anything new that's available there. You can click on the arrow on the bar separating those two screens if you want to condense that or minimize that size and not view that information. If you want to click it again, it opens the pane back up for you to be able to use. The main function you use for a service desk perspective is going to the incident screen. On the incident screen, we have every incident that's currently active. This means it could be resolved, active, new, awaiting user information, anything that's currently active. Resolved is an active state because the customer has a chance to, if they want to reopen it when it's resolved, they still have a chance to reopen it and input information or ask for additional information. It will change to closed, and it will no longer be on this screen once that process has happened and it has turned to closed. If we just look at, we notice that it comes up in a list in a chronological order. I've got the most recent incident entered, sorted by number, and scrolling all the way down. If a customer calls and I know a specific incident that they need to look for, I can simply just put in a portion of that number or all of the number and be able to quickly find the incident that's needed. So I could put in 13588 and click search, and it'll pull up only that information. I can see that this incident any information I need, and I could click on this to drill down in and look at further information on the incident. Continuing with the search on that, you'll notice that we now have what's called a breadcrumb. So we have all, and that it's anything that's active, and with a number that ends with 31588. That's the criteria that for the current view I'm looking at. If I decide I want to go back to just all the active ones, I can simply just move my mouse over to that point, and it'll drop me back to just the all and active true. I could click on all, and it would actually show me all. So that would include any that were closed as well. Okay. I'm going to click on incident again and just bring up that main standard one that we have. If you look at the go-to, we had number on there before. When you click on the down arrow, these are basically the quick searches. So we've got a quick search for text. That'll look through the entire record. If you know you had some sort of comment or some information about, let's say, Pinnacle, and you needed to look up all the tickets that had something related to that, you could simply select that and enter that information. You could go by the short description, the created by, subcategory, requester. All of these are the quick ones set up. This is a very quick search, so you won't have control over what type of search it is. It'll just do a search based on how the default is. For example, requester. For the requester, we see that requester is in this format with first name, space, last name, and then the user ID. For the requester, you would need to put this exactly in order to find the requester name. Okay. Number ends with, so that there are predefined searches that are very quick to use. If you want a more detailed search, really there's several different ways to do it. But let's say I wanted to see everything that was regarding an access issue. I can simply just right-click on the word access and do show matching. When I do that, it very quickly populates everything that is just with access, and it also continues to populate this breadcrumb that we have here, so it says category equals access. If we wanted to see only the active ones, so we don't want anything that's got new or awaiting, or let's say we wanted to not see the ones that were resolved, we can simply do what we did just a minute ago, but right-click, and instead of show matching, you filter out the information. So in this case, we'll have everything that's not the resolve state. Again, when I did that, it made that query for me, and it added that information to this breadcrumb. If we get to this point and we continue to want some additional filtering or some more specific filtering, you can go to the arrow right beside the breadcrumb, and it's the hide show filter. When you click on that, it's going to show the filter, and ours is already pre-populated with the information that we set up, but we want to do some additional. So in this case, we notice we have if it's active, if it has a certain category, if the state is not resolved, and we have basically any information we want to do. I'm going to clear out our current query and just have the active. So what I want to do is, like I said before, looking up requester can be challenging if you don't have it exactly the way. So we know the link blue login ID, for example. Let's just go ahead and look up something by the link blue login ID. What I could do is just simply click and it adds the and condition. So it's going to be active and with the requester, and I change it to contains. So instead of being is or exactly equal to, contains will just get anything that has that set of information that you enter. Let's go ahead and put in an input value. I'm going to do BVANOVE. Okay, As I do that, it actually does a search for me. Anytime you see this search bar, it means you can look up from an existing list in the system. And I go, oh yeah, Bonnie Vanover, that's what I'm trying to look for. Click on that and just simply click on Run. Now I've run and I have all the active incidents that have the requester of Bonnie Vanover. Very simple to work with. Over to the right, you'll see you have, if I had multiple pages, I could scroll through multiple pages. I'll just click back to clear out my query. And I've got currently looking at 1 of 100 for 746 records. So I can simply go to the next page by clicking through the records. And they're going 100 at a time. I've got mine set up for 100 at a time, and that's very easy to change, and you have your own control of doing that. If I go to Incidents and click on the down arrow, Incidents being the view that I'm on, I can do Filter a certain way, Group By, Show, and this is where I changed mine to 100 rows at a time, or just simply refresh the list. So you have control of how your view is going to look, and it will keep it at that until you change it otherwise. You don't have to do that every session. So every time I come in, mine's at 100. The default is 20, but once I changed mine to 100, from that point forward, it held that for me. Okay, so we've looked at managing a list within ServiceNow. Let's look at an actual form.